So let's talk Thrifty Swerve. Why purchase this module if you're an FRC team? Well, it's affordable. It's $2.99 a module, regardless of if you're using the inverted kit that we released last year or if you're using the new inline module that we're releasing this year. All of the gear ratios are included with the kit, so you don't have to worry about what to buy later on because you get everything in terms of speeds. It includes an absolute encoder. All the gears are steel, so there are no belts to break or worry about maintaining. And we're also introducing the narrow variant of the Swerve soon for teams that are concerned with packaging. We also have 4 and 5 module Swerve bundles for your teams to make it quick and easy for ordering. Thrifty Swerve is also compatible with 4-inch Coulson wheels and the Vex grip lock wheels as well. So what could possibly be left for Thrifty Swerve? Well, we've been working really hard this off season on the tread solution for these modules. Now, both the inverted Thrifty Swerve module and the upcoming narrow Swerve use 1.5-inch wide tread. And enough teams are running 1.5-inch wide wheels today and have for years, and we want to focus on supporting that standard. And since we didn't change the bolt pattern, we wanted to come up with a moldable tread that could bolt on easily and came pre-punched with holes already cleanly molded into the tread for teams. Now this is 95A durometer TPU. We've been running it this off season and have seen pretty good performance and longevity from it. We consider this to be the 80% solution for most teams. We think it'll make their lives a lot easier just being able to buy cheap tread and bolt it on without having to make it themselves. This tread will also work with the SDS MK4 series wheels. If you're still running those modules, you can just buy this tread and use it. One of the cool features that we want to highlight with the narrow modules is that all of these plates are 3/8 of an inch thick, which has allowed us to include 1032 tapped holes that are 1/2 inch apart. And really for teams, this gives them more flexibility to be able to mount external plates, intakes, those sorts of things on the outside edge of their frame perimeter. So you can just tie those directly into the swerve plate, and you don't need to come up with nut strips or anything like solutions that teams have tried in the past. We also have a number of 1032 tapped holes on the top plate. This is just for more flexibility of mounting. And we have a couple of pass-through holes here in case you need to access the bolts that are on the azimuth gear. These are just pass-through for an Allen wrench to fit through. So let's say you already purchased Thrifty Swerve last year, but you're interested in the narrow Swerve configuration. We'll have an upgrade kit for that for the A and B sides of your drivetrain. It'll include 3 new plates, 2 new gears, 3 bearings, and a billet encoder cover for each corner of your drivetrain. One other thing we've been developing are 3D print files for teams to be able to make their own slip covers for either style of Swerve module. So if you're running the narrow Swerve, it's a really quick and easy thing to slip that on, and you have the tapped holes on the side plates to secure them with. If you're running the Thrifty Swerve inverted, there's a 2-piece where this one would slip over, and then we have a top cover that can bolt on to secure everything there with plenty of clearance for your encoder. And we even have some nice little running lanes for the Swerve, the encoder wires to peek out through there and be able to run out to your robot. Now, if you're looking to purchase Thrifty Swerve for the first time and you want to know the difference between the 2 module types, let's talk about that a little bit. So both Thrifty Swerves support 60mm drive motors. That's Kraken X60, the Rev Neo motors, the Rev Vortex motors. The Thrifty Narrow Swerve, though, requires a 44mm motor or smaller, like the Kraken X44. and that's specifically for the azimuth, where the inverted Thrifty Swerve can use either size motor for azimuth or drive. So you have more flexibility on the inverted module, and really that's a trade-off for packaging. The narrow module has a smaller footprint than the inverted module does. But there is a trade-off with the narrow module in that there are left and right hand side modules as well to keep track of, whereas with the inverted module, they are all the same and symmetrical. There are a lot of shared components by design between both modules. This was done on purpose because we want teams who buy one of the modules to be able to convert it to the other one if the team has that desire to do so. We have a couple different types of absolute encoders coming out. One of them is our CAN encoder that uses a Molex cable. So it'll be really easy for teams to connect into those with the Molex connector, and we'll come with the wire harness as well. We'll also have a 10-pin mag encoder version of this that can wire directly into the Thrifty Nova 10-pin port or the Rev Spark Max 10-pin port. They'll all have ESD and reverse polarity protection. So just really some updated electronics from our end to try to give teams the best encoder they can get for their money. We're also really excited to launch the next version of the Thrifty Config app that has a swerve generator built into it. Teams will be able to quickly and easily input their drivetrain configuration, set CAN IDs, select motor controllers, select absolute encoder types, and test and validate that their modules are zeroing properly and everything's pointing the right direction as expected. The end goal is to give your team a project file that can be built and deployed to get your swerve drive up and running as fast as possible. We're really excited to share all these new things with your teams. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And as always, thanks for supporting us.